Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Echo Aftab. In my today's class, we are going to deal with utility function. As you know, in my previous session in Mathematics for Economics, I have dealt in detail as to what is function and what are the different types of functions. So from today onwards, we will actually try to see how much mathematics is helpful for us in our economics. So we will see how the concepts in economics are related to mathematics, and the most important thing that economics deals is with functions. And having understood what is the meaning of functions and having understood what is the concept of derivative and differentiation, let us start with utility function. Myself, Aftab Bhai. So first and foremost, what do you mean by utility function? Friends, the meaning of utility function is it is a way of assigning a number to every possible combination bundle such that more preferred bundles are assigned larger number than less preferred bundles. So what does it mean? If I say there is a bundle A which is having certain amount of commodity X and certain amount of commodity Y, and for this bundle I will assign the value 5. So it simply means that I am giving the preference for A bundle, and that preference I am giving a number to that, and that is 5. But this combination in itself will not tell us much. But if I take another combination, let us say combination B, if combination B is another bundle, let us say 2x and 2y, and if I give a number to this combination, let us say 100, it simply means that I as a consumer prefer bundle B than bundle A. This is what is my preference, that is assigning a number to every possible bundle and giving more number to more preferred bundles. So here one thing that is to be made clear is this number 5 and this number 100 are not related to each other in any way. It does not mean that if this is the 5 bundle A, then 20 times more bundle B is preferred. No, that is not the case. Here it is simply a number which is telling whether a particular bundle is preferred more or a bundle is preferred less. So in this case we can say bundle B is preferred more than bundle A. That is what it is. This number 5 as such is having no intrinsic meaning. It is just telling us, it is sort of a label. We are giving a label for our preference, and 5 is less than 100. This 100, we can make it 100, we can make it 10, we can make it 7. It can be any number, but it is telling us that B is preferred more than A. That is what is called as utility function, where we are giving or we are assigning a number to our bundles, preferred bundles. Having understood utility function, let us move one step ahead. Now when we speak about utility function, there are certain assumptions with regard to our preferences, and that we will see in detail. What are the assumptions? The first assumption is completeness. So when we speak about utility function, when we speak about indifference curves, the first assumption that we need to know is that our preferences are well defined. When we say well defined preferences, it means completeness. So for any two bundles X and Y, it is always possible to state either that X bundle is preferred to Y bundle, this is the case of strong preference, or X bundle is preferred as much as Y bundle, then it is called as weak preference. So here we are telling that if you see here, X is preferred to Y, here X is preferred more than Y or same as Y. So here, because we are strongly telling that X is preferred to Y, it is strong preference, and here because we are telling that it may also be equally preferred to Y, it becomes weak preference. So this particular sign, friends, is telling us about preference. X is preferred to Y, or Y is preferred to X, or X is having same preference as Y. So remember these notations. These notations are telling us about preferences, whether the preference is more or same or more and same, that is what. So if it is more, it is highlighting more, then it is strong preference. If it is same as y, then it is weak preference. So here we can say we always have a preference. मतलब क्या बोल सकते हैं यहाँ पे, we always have a preference मतलब first is we can say we prefer x to y, or else we say we prefer y to x, or we can say for us y and x are the same. So this particular sign which is telling us about the equality, it is more telling us about that the consumer is indifferent between x and y. Here he is telling I want x, here in this case he is telling I want y, here he is telling कुछ भी चलेगा, x भी चलेगा, y भी चलेगा, मतलब the consumer is indifferent. So one thing, we should have this particular preference or this or this. We cannot say I don't know. We cannot say I don't know, मुझे पता नहीं. Then when you say I don't know, मतलब you are not sure about the preferences. So under preference assumptions, completeness means you cannot say I don't know. You have to either say I prefer more, I prefer less, or it is same, but you cannot say I don't know. And not saying I don't know is what is called as the assumption of completeness. मतलब the consumer is completely aware about his preferences. So this is the first assumption. The second assumption is about transitivity. So logical property of preference is the following. What it says, transitivity, if A is preferred to B and if B is preferred to C, then A is preferred to C. That is what is called as transitivity of strict preference. So if you say A, I prefer A more than B or equal to B, and if you say you prefer B more than C or equal to C, that means you prefer A more than C or equal to C. So this is the transitivity of weak preferences. Why I am telling weak preferences? Because here we are making use of something called as this equality sign. Lastly, you can say I prefer A as much as B, or I prefer B as much as C. It also means you prefer A as much as C. So this is called as transitivity of indifference. So there is something called as strict preference or strong preference, weak preference, and indifference towards the bundles. So if I say the same example, the first case, if you say you prefer A, there are two bundles A and B, and you prefer A to B, it means you don't want B, you want A. In the next situation, again there are two bundles B and C, and if you say that you prefer B more than C, matlab you are giving preference towards B bundle. And the third case, if there are bundles are A and C, so by the law of transitivity, it becomes obvious that you prefer A to C. This is what is transitivity, the second assumption that comes under preferences. Then the third is the law of non-satiation. What it is? More is better than less. So under this assumption, what the assumption is, the consumer says, if I am the consumer says I need more. I need more. What it means? In law of diminishing marginal utility हमने क्या देखा है? Diminishing marginal utility, there is something called as zero marginal utility. एक पॉइंट आ जाता है जहाँ पे आप कहते हो कि नहीं, इससे ज़्यादा नहीं जाएगा. So will not follow that thing. That is not the case over here. यहाँ पे more is better than less मतलब I am having 10 chocolates and if you give me 11th chocolate, I will not say no. मतलब ये 11th चॉकलेट मैं नहीं खाऊंगा, लेकिन क्या कर सकता हूँ मैं, ये 11th चॉकलेट मैं मेरे सिस्टर को दे सकता हूँ, मेरे फ्रेंड को दे सकता हूँ, मेरे ब्रदर को दे सकता हूँ, लेकिन मैं कभी नहीं कहूँगा, क्योंकि इस 11th चॉकलेट से भी मुझे सेटिस्फैक्शन मिल रहा है, इवन दो इफ आई एम नॉट डायरेक्टली कंज्यूमिंग इट, आई एम ओनिंग इट. दैट इज व्हाट इज मोर इज बेटर देन लेस. सो द कंज्यूमर, the more he gets, the better he will feel. Never he will say no and enough. That is the case of utility preferences. So based on these three assumptions, we'll move ahead and try to see what are indifference curves. Now one thing friends, in economics every diagram that we draw, that diagram is derived from a function, keep it in mind. Every curve that comes into the picture that you have seen in the textbook, it is based on some function. So in normal regular textbooks we have seen what is indifference curve, meaning of indifference curve, and understanding that theoretically. Once you have seen my video of indifference curve in microeconomic series, then in this class I am trying to make you all relate the indifference curve to a function, and which is that function? It is the utility function. So as you know, indifference curves are the graphical representation of preferences. So whenever you are having some preferences, when you graphically represent it, that is what is called as indifference curve. But what is the meaning of indifference curve? Separate combination of different combinations giving same level of satisfaction. So how, when we mathematically represent our feelings towards two products, how can we mathematically represent the feelings? So it is by this particular function where u is equal to square root of x into y. So here I would like you to visit my Cobb-Douglas production function in the series. You can see it here in the I tab. So what is this telling us? It is telling us that utility for a commodity, it is a function of square root of x into y, or else you can say it is a function of x raised to half into y raised to half. Now what is this? Again, this particular concept I have explained in detail in rules of exponents. So for us right now, for simplicity, I have taken this particular function for defining our utility function. So u is equal to square root of x and y. It is a Cobb-Douglas utility function. So when we speak about utility and when we differentiate the utility function, what we get is the marginal utility. So marginal utility is the derivative of utility and it is always diminishing. So see here, from indifference curve we started with understanding what are indifference curve. In this we understood about indifference curves, we are getting it from preferences, and when we speak about preferences we are speaking about a particular function, that is Cobb-Douglas utility function, where u is equal to square root of x and x multiplied by y. And this utility function, if you differentiate it, what do we get? We get marginal utility. Now I want to prove that the marginal utility is diminishing, and I will do it with the help of a table and a graph. So if you keep y commodity constant and keep on increasing the quantity of x commodity, then let us see what is happening. So this is nothing but it is very similar to law of diminishing marginal utility, but here you can see I am speaking about that law where I am keeping one particular commodity constant and making use of Cobb-Douglas utility function. So let us say there is x commodity and y commodity, and the utility function is u is equal to square root of x into y, and when you solve for that x and y, you get a particular level of utility which is your total utility. So this is your total utility, and the next column is marginal utility. So if I say 1 unit of x and 4 units of y, then if you put these things in our utility function, it becomes square root of 1 into 4. So square root of 1 into 4 is nothing but square root of 4, which is equal to 2. So our total utility that we are getting is 2. In the next case, if I say, if I increase the x commodity by 1 unit and keep y commodity constant, then what will happen? It will become square root of 2 into 4, that is square root of 6, and that is total utility is 2.80. You can see as x commodity has increased, the total utility has also increased. It was earlier 2, now it has become 2.80. Further, if you increase x commodity by one more unit and make it 3 and keeping constant y commodity at 4, then now this is 3 into 4. So square root of 3 into 4 is 3.46. Again you can see the total utility has increased. Lastly, if you make X commodity 4 units, keeping constant Y commodity at 4 units, then what is happening to the total utility? So U is equal to 4 into 4, that is square root of 16, which is nothing but 4. So in this case you can see the total utility is increasing. But what is happening to the marginal utility, or you can say what is happening to the change in utility? Earlier it was 2, but now it has increased from 2 to 2.80. So what is the change in utility? It is 0.80. So one more unit, if you increase from 2 to 3, how much the utility has changed? You can see here the utility has decreased. It was 0.80, now it has become 0.66. The difference between this utility and this utility, that is 3.46 minus 2.80, is giving us 0.66. And lastly, with regard to the fourth unit, what is happening to the change in utility? It is 4 minus 3.46, and that is 0.454. So clearly here you can see what is happening to our marginal utility. Our marginal utility is diminishing. That is what is called as diminishing marginal utility. If we increase the consumption of one commodity, keeping constant the consumption of all commodities, the marginal utility eventually declines. Even though the total utility is increasing, the increase in total utility is in a diminishing way. That is what is diminishing marginal utility. The same thing we will try to understand it graphically. The table I have kept it as it is. Here in this panel you can see on x axis I have taken the commodity X 1, 2, 3, 4, and on y axis I have taken utility. So this is my, for your understanding. So this I have taken on x axis and this I have taken on y axis. Now you can see for first unit of x the utility is 2, for 2 units of x the utility is 2.8, for 3 units of x the utility is 3.46, and for fourth unit it is 4. So you can see a curve, and this curve is increasing, and this is our utility function. So at this particular point I would like to say this is 1 unit of x giving us 2 utils of utility. This is 2 unit of x with utility of 2.80. Similarly, this is 3 units of x with utility of 3.46. Similarly, this is 4 units of x with 4 utility. So here you can see this utility function is more concave, that is, it is increasing, but it is increasing at an decreasing rate. So this is our total utility function. Now let us try to plot the marginal utility. So you can see again now on x axis I have taken the quantity of x commodity, and on y axis now I have taken marginal utility. So when I plot this thing, you can see this is the curve that I will get. Because there is no space, I could not plot 2. So just I have taken an imaginary dot over here where somewhere it is near to 2. So from this dot, if you see, we will get a downward sloping curve, and this is our marginal utility curve. So this is our marginal utility curve, and one thing that is to be highlighted over here is marginal utility will never be negative. Why? Why marginal utility will never be negative over here? Because we understood that in the assumptions of utility preferences, one assumption is there, that is non-satiation. What is this non-satiation? More is better than less. So when you follow this assumption, it means always there will be increase in the stock, and this increase in the stock will always lead to positive marginal utility, and because of that our marginal utility will never touch x axis. It may go very close to x axis, but it will never touch x axis. That is because of our assumption of non-satiation. So, you can see the same graph we understood in law of diminishing marginal utility, but there we use a simple table, but here what we are making use of is we are making use of something called as utility function. We are making use of mathematics to understand. In mathematics, especially we are understanding the concept of function to understand the total utility and marginal utility based on the assumptions of preferences. So, I hope you understood this thing. Now, if we move ahead with this, let us see what is waiting for us. Now, it is interesting for us to see how to move from an utility function to indifference curve. We saw from utility function we went to law of diminishing marginal utility. Now, we will see from utility function how will we proceed towards indifference curve. So, again I am taking Cobb-Douglas utility function u is equal to square root of x into y. So, what is indifference curve? Indifference curves represent all those combinations of two goods which gives same level of utility. Indifference curve का मेन बेसलाइन क्या है? जो भी कॉम्बिनेशन हो, कोई भी कॉम्बिनेशन हो, हर एक कॉम्बिनेशन से हमें सेम लेवल का सेटिस्फैक्शन मिलता है. दैट इज व्हाट इज यूटिलिटी. indifference curve having same level of utility. अभी आगे बढ़ के देखें what is there. So, again I have taken the same table, but here you can see I am speaking about x commodity and y commodity. Then the utility function u is equal to square root of x y, and the last column we are speaking is utility. Now, what I want to show is same level of utility, that is the utility level same होना चाहिए. और क्या बता रहा हूँ मैं? Combinations of what? Two goods. यहाँ पे दो goods कौन कौन से हैं? First good is commodity x and second good is commodity y, and this is our utility function, that is Cobb-Douglas utility function. So, आगे बढ़ें. If I say 1 unit of x and 4 units of y, then what will be the utility function? U is equal to, so this is our combination A. So, A combination से हमें utility क्या मिल रही है? Square root of 1 into 4. So, जब हम 1 into 4 करेंगे तो क्या मिलेगा? Square root of 4. Square root of 4 का आंसर क्या आएगा? It is 2. So, from A combination with 1 unit of x and 4 units of y, we are getting utility of 2. Remember, this 2 is only for the sake of preference. It is having no mathematical or cardinal significance. Next is the second combination, which we would like to call it as B. So, combination B में हमें क्या है? We are having two commodities of x and two commodities of y, and if you put these values in the Cobb-Douglas utility function, square root of 2 into 2. So, क्या आएगा यहाँ पे? Square root of 4. Again, square root of 4 is what? It is 2. So, you can see this combination A and this combination B, both are giving us same level of satisfaction, that is 2 and 2. Chalo, let us see one more combination. If I take 4 units of x and 1 unit of y, and we will call it as combination C. So, यहाँ पे भी क्या होगा? Our utility will be the same, it will be 2. So, you can see different combinations of two commodities giving us same level of satisfaction. So, this I can call it as a schedule, but now we will go ahead and try to see with this schedule can we have an indifference curve? Yes. So, in the side panel you can see I have plotted the indifference curve. So, what is this indifference curve? On x axis we are having x commodity, on y axis we are having y commodity, and you can see the indifference curve. Combination A, if you observe in the graph, we are getting this A combination which is 1 4, then we are having the next combination, that is B combination 2 and 2, and lastly we are having the third combination, and that is 4 and 1. So, different combinations of two commodities giving us the same level of satisfaction is what is called as indifference curve. यहाँ पे हमारा utility level क्या है? Here our utility level is equal to 2. So different combinations giving us same level of satisfaction. Now after understanding about indifference curve and utility function क्या relation है, आगे चल के देखें slope of indifference curve. In my microeconomic series we understood the slope of indifference curve. Slope of indifference curve का मतलब क्या है? It tells us the rate of change in Y commodity because of change in 1 unit of X commodity. अगर X commodity 1 यूनिट चेंज हो रहा है तो उसकी वजह से Y यूनिट्स हम कितना चेंज कर रहे हैं. This we will see now. So slope of indifference curve is also called as marginal rate of substitution. So MRS is equal to delta Y divided by delta X, which is nothing but mathematically MRS is called as the slope of indifference curve. So this is what is the background. Now we will see an interesting part, that is relationship between MRS and marginal utility. So you can see I have already presented over there, marginal rate of substitution between X and Y is equal to something which is equal to marginal utility of X divided by marginal utility of Y. Can you fill in the blank? Yes, it is change in Y because of change in X, which is nothing but the slope of indifference curve. So MRS is equal to delta Y by delta X, which in turn is equal to marginal utility of X divided by marginal utility of Y. Now having understood what is this relationship, to now we shall say how we have come towards this relationship. अभी हमें देखना है कि ये मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी और मार्जिनल रेट ऑफ सब्स्टिट्यूशन के बीच में कैसे संबंध है, हाउ टू डिराइव इट. सो टू डिराइव द रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन MRS एंड मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी विल फॉलो दिस फॉलोइंग स्टेप. पहले देखेंगे कि डिफरेंशियल कैसे करते हैं, उसके बाद में टोटल डिफरेंशियल कैसे करते हैं, फिर लास्ट स्टेप देखेंगे उसको कैसे नॉर्मली हम सब्स्टिट्यूट करते हैं डिराइवेटिव वैल्यूज़ को. सो जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ सिंप्लिसिटी डायरेक्टली मैं सब्स्टिट्यूट नहीं कर रहा हूँ वैल्यू. फॉर द बेसिक, फॉर दो स्टूडेंट्स हु आर द बिगनर्स, फॉर देम टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ derivative plays an important role, I will just solve one problem over here, and then at the end I will try to take utility function and derive the marginal rate of substitution. So how to find the differential dy? Finding the differential dy of the following function. So यहाँ पे एक फंक्शन लिया हूँ मैं, y is equal to 7x cube minus 5x square plus 6x minus 3. तो इसको डिफ्रेंशिएट करेंगे. Already I have taught you all how to differentiate. So dy by dx is equal to 3 into 7 21, x as it is 3 minus 1, that is 2. So we are having 21x square. उसी तरह से 2 into 5 10, x 2 minus 1, that is x. X raised to 1 we can write it as x, plus 1 into 6 6, x raised to 1 minus 1. So x raised to 0 is always 1. So 6 into 1 is 6, and this is the constant which becomes 0. So this is what is our derivation. Now what I told you, how to find the differential dy. हमें सिर्फ dy चाहिए, तो यहाँ पे dy है, तो हम क्या करेंगे, dy is equal to 21x square minus 10x plus 6, this is in bracket, ये dx को हम ऊपर ले लेंगे into dx. So this is the first case. यहाँ पे मुझे क्या बताना था कि डिफरेंशियल dy कैसे फाइंड आउट करते हैं. सो सिंपल डिराइव कीजिए, डिराइवेशन के बाद में dy is equal to your answer multiplied by the denominator, that is dx. So this is the first case. Now यहाँ पे एक चीज़ हमें पता चली है कि y is the dependent variable और यहाँ पे independent variable एक ही है. We are having only one independent variable and that is x. अगर टू इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल्स होंगे तो क्या होगा, इफ देयर आर टू इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल्स लेट अस से x एंड y, तो फिर कैसे करना है, आई विल शो इट इन द नेक्स्ट एग्जाम्पल. सो फाइंडिंग द टोटल डिफरेंशियल du, अगर मैं बताऊं कि एक फंक्शन है u इज इक्वल टू 5x क्यूब माइनस 12xy माइनस 6y क्यूब. सो यहाँ पे हम पहले क्या करेंगे, विल गो ऑन फॉर partial differentiation. So let us say first I'll make use of differentiating u with respect to x. So u with respect to x will be 3 5s are 15 x square minus 12y. सो यहाँ पे फ्रेंड्स हम लोग पार्शियल डिफ्रेंशिएशन यूज कर रहे हैं, जहाँ पे मैं सिर्फ x को डिफ्रेंशिएट कर रहा हूँ. 1 इंटू 12 x रेस टू 1 माइनस 1 इज x रेस टू 0, x रेस टू 0 मतलब 1. सो क्या हो जाएगा 12 इंटू 1 इंटू वाई, दैट इज 12y. सो दिस आई एम डूइंग विद रिगार्ड टू x. ऐसे ही मैं और क्या कर सकता हूँ विद रिगार्ड टू y. सो दिस बिकम्स, दिस इज नॉट कंसिडर्ड क्योंकि यहाँ पे y वैल्यू नहीं है. जैसे हमने यहाँ पे व्हेन वी आर डिफरेंशिएटिंग x वी आर इग्नोर्ड द y वेरिएबल, वैसे जब हम y डिफरेंशिएट कर रहे हैं x वेरिएबल को हमें इग्नोर करना है. तो यहाँ पे क्या आएगा, वी विल बी हैविंग माइनस 12x. ये देखिए 1 यहाँ पे 1 इंटू माइनस 12 इज माइनस 12, y रेस टू 1 माइनस 1 इज y रेस टू 0, इसका मतलब y रेस टू 0 इज इक्वल टू 1. सो क्या रहा 12 इंटू एक्स इंटू 1, दैट इज वॉट इज रिटर्न ओवर हियर. इसके बाद में नेक्स्ट आएगा 6y क्यूब. सो दैट इज माइनस 3 6 18y square. So we are having x with regard to differentiating the utility x and here differentiating with regard to y. Having understood these two things, now what I would like to do is, when you differentiated u, I would like to write it as 15 x square minus 12y, this is into dx. y into dx, if you see the previous, हमने क्या करा है, डिफरेंशियल ले रहे हैं और उसके साथ ही साथ माइनस साइन एज इट इज, यहाँ पे माइनस है 12x प्लस 18y स्क्वायर इंटू क्या आएगा यहाँ पे, इंटू dy. So this is how we go on for total differential if we are having two variables, two independent variables in the function x and y. तो यहाँ पे क्या कर रहे हैं, पहले हमने क्या किया, du by dx ले लिया और बाद में हमने क्या किया, du by dy ले लिया. सो ये dx को हम यहाँ पे लेके आए हैं और ये dy को हम यहाँ पे ले आए हैं. दैट इज वॉट वी डिड इन द प्रीवियस स्लाइड. सो हैविंग अंडरस्टूड दिस थिंग, अभी हम आगे बढ़ के देखेंगे टोटल यूटिलिटी फंक्शन से कैसे हम मार्जिनल रेट ऑफ सब्स्टिट्यूशन डिराइव करेंगे. सो यहाँ पे u is equal to x plus y. This is again one more type of utility function which is called as utility function for perfect substitutes. So u is equal to x plus 1. So अगर हम इसको डिफ्रेंशिएट करेंगे तो पहले क्या आएगा, when you differentiate with regard to x you will get du by dx into dx, और वैसे ही जब हम y डिफ्रेंशिएट करेंगे विल गेट du by dy into dy. So I wanted to tell you ये into dx और ये into dy कहाँ से आ रहा है, this I already explained it in the previous example. This is how, ये जो है this is our du by dx और ये जो है this is our डी यू बाई डी वाई। सो क्या कर रहा हूँ, डी यू बाई डी एक्स इंटू डी एक्स माइनस डी यू बाई डी वाई इंटू डी वाई। दिस इज वॉट आई हैव टेकन ओवर हियर। आगे बढ़ के देखेंगे, हमें एक चीज पता है, डी यू बाई डी एक्स मतलब क्या, इट इज मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी ऑफ एक्स, चेंज इन एक्स कमोडिटी। एक्स कमोडिटी जैसे ही हम इंक्रीज कर रहे हैं उसकी वजह से कितनी यूटिलिटी चेंज हो रही है, दैट इज मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी ऑफ एक्स। और वैसे डी यू बाई डी वाई मतलब वाई कमोडिटी हम इंक्रीज करेंगे कंजम्पशन, तो उसकी वजह से कितना मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी चेंज हो रहा है, दैट बिकम्स डी यू बाई डी वाई। सो नाउ सी, यहाँ पे भी ये डिफ्रेंशिएट किए हैं, यहाँ पे दिस इज द साइन ऑफ डिफ्रेंशिएशन, डी यू बाई डी एक्स डेराइवेटिव है, मैथमेटिकली इट इज डेराइवेटिव, इन इकोनॉमिक्स वी कॉल इट एज मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी ऑफ एक्स और यहाँ पे मार्जिनल यूटिलिटी ऑफ वाई। अभी हमें एक चीज़ पता है विथ रिगार्ड टू इंडिफरेंस कर्व, एट डिफरेंट लेवल्स और डिफरेंट कॉम्बिनेशंस गिविंग द सेम लेवल ऑफ यूटिलिटी। सो एज वी नो, indifference curves, when we speak about indifference curve, they exhibit constant utility. So एक चीज़ क्या है, ये du जो है ये constant है, ये change नहीं होगी. So I would like to say that du is constant which is equal to 0. अभी क्या हो जाएगा हमारा इक्वेशन, mu into dx plus mu into dy is equal to 0. So this has become is equal to 0. इसको थोड़ा अगर हम रीअरेंज करेंगे तो क्या मिलेगा हमें, mu x डिवाइडेड बाय mu y इज इक्वल टू dy बाय dx. ये देखिए, दिस mu x एज इट इज रखूंगा, ये mu को मैं इस साइड लेके आऊंगा. सो व्हेन आई ब्रिंग इट ऑन द लेफ्ट साइड, डिनोमिनेटर में जाएगा mu ऑफ y. वैसे ही इज इक्वल टू ये dx को मैं जब राइट हैंड साइड लेके जाऊंगा क्या होगा, dy बाय dx. सो हियर यू आर सीइंग वन साइड marginal utility of x upon marginal utility of y. Here you are saying dy by dx. So this is nothing but dy by dx is nothing but in indifference को हमने देखा था delta y by delta x. That is why mu x by mu y, marginal utility of x divided by marginal utility of y is equal to dy by dx. So slope of indifference curve is equal to marginal rate of substitution, and marginal rate of substitution is equal to dy by dx, which in turn is equal to the ratio of marginal utilities of x and y. So with this, friends, we have derived the slope of indifference curve from utility function. So with this, I end my class. I hope you have understood the magic of mathematics in economics. So we will stop now at this particular point, so that in my next class I will take up different types of utility functions. इस क्लास में हमने देखा है कि what is Cobb-Douglas utility function, a slight touch we saw what is the utility function for substitutes. So यही चीज़ हम in detail देखेंगे हमारे अगले क्लास में, where I'll be speaking about types of utility function. So till then, friends, thank you very much for being with me, for being with Understanding Economics with Professor Aftab. So till my next class, take care of yourself, be happy, be healthy. Tata, bye bye.